We're going to start this section with some terminology. We're going to look at the alpha carbons and how that relates to the enolizable position. So first, let's learn what an alpha carbon is. An alpha carbon is the carbon bonded to the carbonyl carbon. So in our three examples below, we have a carbonyl carbon in each, and any carbon bonded directly to that carbon is an alpha carbon. So here we have two alpha carbons. Here we have two alpha carbons. And then in this aldehyde, you have the hydrogen, which isn't a carbon, and you have an alpha carbon on the left. Relating to that, if you have hydrogen bonded to an alpha carbon, those are alpha hydrogens. So now looking at these, in our first molecule, we have the alpha carbon on the left, although they're not drawn in. We have two alpha hydrogen because they're bonded to that carbon. On the other alpha carbon, we have three alpha hydrogen. Then in the second molecule, there's no hydrogen on either alpha carbon. So we have no alpha hydrogen. And then finally, in this third molecule, we have over here on the left alpha carbon, there is one hydrogen. So we have one alpha hydrogen. The aldehyde hydrogen is not an alpha hydrogen. As far as how this relates to being enolizable, anytime you have an alpha carbon that has one or more alpha hydrogen, that position is said to be enolizable. So as it relates to these molecules, we can say that this position here is an enolizable position. This position here is an enolizable position. Or you could say two enolizable carbons. Our second molecule has no alpha hydrogen, so despite having alpha carbons, there are no enolizable positions. And then in our third molecule, we have one enolizable position. We're going to review enols next, but just to give you a preview of what that means. That means that we can form an enol at that alpha carbon. So if we draw the enol of this molecule, remember the enol, we have an alcohol and a double bond. And the reason that's an enolizable position is because we do have an alpha hydrogen there that can be removed when we form this enol.